Alright. Hello, what's up troopers? Welcome to a brand new stream. My name is Neon, and today we're going to go over a whole new roundup of all the stuff when it comes to the Battlefield 6 beta. Yesterday I wasn't available to actually get everything all sorted because we had a lot of news yesterday when it came to the class system. Some of the biggest topic was the recon side had the spawn beacon. Well, the spawn beacon has changed, troopers, because it's on the assault class. That is a pretty big deal. We have never had the spawn beacon on there, but it totally makes sense because reality is a lot of recon players, they just sit at the back of the map. So why would you need to really have a spawn beacon for it? So it makes more sense to keep people more close and aggressive if you just do it for the assault side. And as they are going to be aggressive a lot, most of the time then spawn beacons are going to get destroyed because, well, if you're being more aggressive, you're dying more, and there's only so many times you can do that until your spawn beacon is gone. Of course, as well, as it's more close distance and everything, you know, there's more chances of, someone destroying it. So it's a really pretty big change, that's for sure. So we have a bunch of videos what we're going to go over because unfortunately I couldn't cover any of this news because my wife surprised me with an early birthday present yesterday. And that early birthday present was a Raise L desk. Well, it's super awesome. So I actually got my new desk right now, got it all switched over and everything. But trying to build a desk like that, it took a little bit longer than I thought. But yeah, I'm super gassed though, because now I don't just need to play games while sitting down, I can stand up too. But being on my computer for so long, and I think it's nice to stand up and stretch your legs, so now I can do that while gaming and doing everything. That is pretty nice. But yes, we got a lot of stuff to cover over, and I think we have got a couple of videos from some of my good friends and stuff, so that's what we're going to be going over. The videos what we have is from Ghost Gaming. We're going to go over about the server browser stuff because they have confirmed that it's happening. Then we got one from Jack Franks going over the gameplay changes. Then we got one from Catwoman who's going to compare the destruction of 2042 and Battlefield 6. I think that'll be a pretty interesting video for you guys to see. And then right at the end, we also have another one from Ghost. That's going over all of the beta access and stuff. Because for right now, what we just found out from yesterday, troopers, is that when it comes to getting a key, do not worry. Because as soon as it's 4 AM EST on the 7th, you can watch a Twitch stream. And watch the Twitch stream for 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes less than what it was on the reveal one. But you just watch it for 30 minutes and you can get yourself a key. That is super, super easy. So honestly, if anyone don't have a key, please do not worry, because as soon as this beta goes live, you can just watch the stream for 30 minutes, grab that key, redeem it, get it all sorted, and then you're good to go. You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. But yeah, anyway, I think it's time to get over it. I hope everyone is doing well. I thank you very much, everyone coming into the stream. And yeah, make sure to leave a like if you're on the YouTube side. And let's get into this, shall we, troopers? Oh, not that one. It's this one.
Yo, what is up guys, it's Ghost here, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about all the details we know about the server browser in Battlefield 6. A lot of people have been asking me on this, like, is there going to be a server browser? Isn't there going to be a server browser? And the answer is sort of. So we'll get into all of that in a minute. As always, if you guys enjoy the Battlefield 6 coverage here on the channel, make sure
he's using a DMR.
There's going to be a lot more to come here in the future. And as always, thank you guys so much for your support. You've been
that DMR has a bit of a kick,
and I really appreciate it. So cheers so much for that. Also, quick shout out to Mr. Torbis, who has provided me with this insane round of Battlefield 6 from the capture event in London. I'm going to link up his channel down below. He's a great creator, so definitely go and check him out. So this whole conversation kicked off over on X from Alexia Christofi. She is one of the producers at DICE. She was actually part of the reveal event, and she says, I'm going to talk about our server browser later today, but first, I want to understand everyone's reasons for wanting a server browser so I can make sure I explain what we're doing effectively. What is it about a server browser?
You know, before we get more into it, troopers, what do you guys think? You want a server browser? because like there is a kind of like this weird like gray area with it, because like people want it, but it also doesn't really work with the modern gaming, because most of the time now, you know, you got like you know, crossplay on and off. You know, you also have like matchmaking, input matchmaking, you know, team balance and stuff like that. So adding a server browser really can change a lot of things up. But as I say, I don't think there's going to be one for like the actual core multiplayer, personally, for me.
That is important to you lot. So I think for me, the reasons for having a server in a Battlefield game are multiple. First of all, it's about the persistence and the community. You know, you can hop in that server, and when you come and log on the next day, that server is still going to be there. There's maybe going to be people who enjoy that particular server, with that particular map rotation, that particular game mode, with the same ping as you, from the same area, etc. And those people are still going to be in there. And just to add on to that, by the way, I would really love to see more community tools added for Battlefield 6, such as platoons, you know, the ability to
platoons, man.
Just a few more ways.
I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything about platoons. I think that was a really cool thing. You know, it gives everyone the chance to like have their own like team squad and everything. You can get yourself like a clan tag with it as well. I loved it, man. I was like, back in the day for Battlefield 5, right? We was actually, the only reason we were is because of Maxic, but we were actually the highest platoon membership or members on PlayStation 4. Yeah, we had the most members now of anyone else on PlayStation 4 for Battlefield 5. The only reason we did is because my friend Maxic actually had way more members than we did, but he closed his down, all of them, just because he was getting a lot of stream sniping.
For players
to
express themselves and really club together and get some interesting teamwork and some squad play going, because at the end of the day, that's what Battlefield is all about, or at least it should be what it's all about. But these days, I feel like everyone's a little bit more lone wolfy, because there simply aren't as many friends playing the game together. Now, another major reason for me is I just like to play the map rotation that I want to play. And a great example for Battlefield 6 is that there are only 3 out of 9 maps that have jets in them, so, you know, basically every single vehicle available.
Oh, wow.
And there are only 5 maps that have the attack helicopter.
Oh, wow, I did not know that. So, there's only 3 maps that have jets in it? Wow. So is this game like more infantry based then? This game has to be like very infantry more than anything then.
So if I'm not a big infantry player and I only want to play those maps, I want to find or create a server that only plays those 5 maps.
Yeah, there's got to be like a playlist for them large scales.
You might want to make, you know, infantry only, or you might want to find whatever map is the most meat grindery, like Operation Lockers or Metro, and just have a rotation on that one. And most of the time, I don't want to play these maps with any weird, you know, wacky rules like 1000% extra damage so that I can one-shot people or farm XP. I just want to play like the regular official DICE modes, but I still want to be able to play on the maps that I want. And this was a huge problem with Battlefield 2042, because you would matchmake. At the end of every game, you get kicked back into the matchmaker, and then more often than not, you get put into the same bloody map again. And a lot of the time, the map you didn't even want to play, right? So I think that is a problem that is resolved with a server browser and getting...
You know, that is 100% a fair point, though, and I think we can all agree on that, is that, you know, having a server browser for, like, map rotations is definitely a thing, because, like... Dude, it's exactly that though. You know, I done 2042. You know what I mean? And like, you know how many times you keep getting the same map again and again and again, and it's just like, man, if only there's a map rotation. But like, the thing is, there is a map rotation, but you're jumping to server. So you could be, you know, doing a map of Orbit, and then once you finish that lobby of Orbit, you could rotate you into another server, but that one's just started Orbit. So then you get to a point where you're just like, oh, I keep getting the same map again and again and again, and you never truly go for the rotation. And it gets to a point where you try to like play the game and like stream it or whatever you're going to be doing, and you play for about 2 hours, but then you only played like 4 maps, and 2 of them like the same, and it's just like, really? It's like you're not really exploring like all the maps. And it gets very repetitive, and what I realized is that modes what go on quicker are the hardest ones to find because they rotate faster. The ones what go on forever, like the really long ones and stuff, they're the ones you keep finding because they just go on for so much longer. So yeah, it's like if you find a server browser, then you join that server browser and you can play on whatever you want. And then once that map is done, you know it's going to rotate to another map, but you just also have the same players too, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's here and there, because I do like rotations though, because it switches out the players. So it doesn't mean that, like, if someone's really good on a chopper, it doesn't mean he's going to be farming the entire time. You know, I can rotate where someone else could probably have the chance for the chopper and stuff, you know? So that's what I'm saying, it's like a 50-50. Personally for me, I think now, you know, it hasn't been a server browser 24/2. I'm just kind of used to it, and I don't know. I know, like, I think a server browser would be nice and all, but I don't think it would be like the end of the world, personally for me. But yeah, you know, like, if they add it, at least I make everyone happy. You know, and the end of the day, if they're gonna be trying to shoot for 100 million players, then why can't they? Why can't they just split it up
into a server that has a steady rotation? Not only that, but it also ensures you don't match.
Remember, guys, you haven't left a like, please do.
It's like half full. You know, sometimes you'll end up with 10 players on your team, 10 on the other team, and the rest of the server are bots. And sometimes those servers end up filling out, but sometimes they don't, and you have to quit out of there and matchmake again. If you can actually see the servers, you can see how many players in there, you can jump in, and likewise, if you've got a few friends and you're an entire squad that want to play together, you can say, okay, this server has like 10 spots free, let's jump into that one because we know we'll all be put together on the same team. And most of the people who answered on this thread, and there was a lot of replies here, kind of reiterated the same sentiments that I have for you here. And Alexia then replied later on in the day, and she says, it feels like the most important things are persistent servers, a sense of community and a way to play together, being able to choose specific maps and modes, being able to filter by ping and server fullness, and support for low population regions. Now, she says there's more to share on this.
Hey, what's up, Van?
But she does say, I think our server browser solution.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Yes, it's via Portal and it shows community experiences, but these can award full XP, will be front and center in our main menu, not hidden.
Hope you're doing well, Van.
Will allow you to filter and search for specific things you want. Again, more to share on this in the future, but seeing all your replies, I think what we have caters to the majority of cases. We can talk more about it and why it feels like it's not enough at a later date. Like, I would argue to some degree, if it's not enough...
So ready? Yeah.
Not too late to change it after the game launches.
Not long, man. Not long.
Negativity. Like, there will be people asking for that in the Steam reviews and whatnot. But it does sound like, from what she says here, it's going to be an improvement over Portal 1.0 from Battlefield 2042, which was kind of hidden. And I think one of the major problems with that system is, first of all, you couldn't matchmake into it. If you go and look at any of the games that had server browsers, I think all the way back as far as Battlefield 4, there was actually matchmaking functionality. The server browser was front and center,
Tina.
and the matchmaking
How you doing?
took a back seat. But if you wanted to click
You're
on
up late.
and say, hey, I want to play Conquest, it would find
Hope you're doing
a server
well.
with a spot in it and matchmake you into there. And as time went on, it sort of flipped and became the other way around, where the matchmaking button, like in Battlefield 5, that became front and center. But if you really wanted to find a server and select the one you wanted, you could do that as well. But now in Battlefield 2042 and the like, we see the matchmaking system and the server browser completely separated. So when you click matchmake, you are going into an official DICE experience, but it's not listed in that server browser. So if they were listed there, you could at least go in there and say, okay, here's a round of my favorite map. It's just started. It's got enough players in it. There's a spot there, and I'm going to jump in and play. You don't have to just, like, you know, rely on luck of the draw to get the kind of map that you want to play. Now, she does say it's front and center in the main menu, and I've also heard in other places that some of the more interesting Portal modes that are created, because, you know, the Portal editor looks kind of insane. And just to sort of go off on a slight tangent for a minute here, here is an excerpt from an article about Battlefield 6, and they say internally they had play-tested game modes with custom scripting and AI improvements, so you're able to make your own custom UI and improve how the NPCs behave and perform. So that kind of confirms there is going to be bots in Battlefield 6, at least for Portal. There's a whole host of tweakables and mutators, like the ability to do closed weapons, hardcore mode, And what we're seeing is somebody in the studio create a
one-star
2D
restaurant
shooter, or even a horde mode where you purchase guns from an MCOM. Now, unfortunately,
don't you want to look for 5-star?
This was just a screenshot somebody posted on Reddit. So if anybody knows what article this is from, please hit me up in the comments and I'll add it to the description of the video. But from what it sounds like, actually, Portal 2.0 may be much more customizable than I first thought, and we may see some crazy game modes coming out of
you
that.
ain't gonna be available to do that on console
though.
though.
To be, like, featuring some of these on the home screen, so you'll no longer have to like go into Portal and then into the browser to find these things. They will kind of be coming up front and center, almost the same way that the weekly game modes from DICE do in Battlefield 2042. So I think the big question for me is like, is the matchmaking system going to be integrated with the server browser? Because a lot of people say, Ghost, like, what is the problem? If there's a server browser there in Portal, you can create your map rotation, right? You can do whatever you want there. But first of all, we have to make sure that they are persistent, because you'll know, like, if you make a server, it's really, really hard to get people playing that server.
No, they're not going to do the same movement as Delphos. They got their own.
And how popular they are. If you've always got players in there, other players will always join back because they can jump into at least like a semi-full round. But if it's an empty server, well, nobody's going to join that, right? So it's kind of like a catch-22. You need players in your server to play, but if there are no players in your server, then nobody wants to bother joining and being the first person. I've even made servers before, and even though I have some influence online and I can maybe put out a post and say, hey guys, like, here's my server, let's go play it, even then, you know, I've had great difficulty getting even like 20 players online at the same time. So I think persistence, first of all, is absolutely key. And second of all, I think it needs to be integrated with the matchmaking system. Like, apparently they're going to have lots of filters that we can choose from, such as, you know, hopefully, like, what map you want to play, what game mode you want to play. And then my hope is that you can just click matchmake and it's going to put you into one of these servers. And that is actually going to help, you know, fill out a lot of those custom experiences, at least like the ones with like regular rule sets. I really would like to see the wacky stuff, like, you know, the hardcore modes, the XP farms, and like whatever people want to make. Like, I understand people want to play the game the way they want to play.
Okay, so it's a nice place. All right, I was like 1 star. I was like,
or make the
I was like, what? You not like the family or something?
That you can filter out all that stuff.
All right, now I understand.
2042 is that you would go in the server browser, and the top 10 servers were those types of experiences, and most people just didn't want to play them. They didn't want to bother scrolling endlessly through there to find a decent server. So what happened then is just people ended up matchmaking. And I do think, especially if they want to capture these 100 million players from other games such as Call of Duty, you know, people from those titles have kind of gotten used to matchmaking, I think, a lot quicker than the Battlefield community have, and so their tendency is going to just be to click matchmake, right? And hopefully that is going to help fill out some of those servers. Now here's a reply on Reddit here from Tigger, aka David Serland, the lead producer for Battlefield 6. And this person says, I'm under the impression that people can freely make vanilla servers quickly and easily. Hopefully that fills the gap of official servers, which I think it can. And he replies and says, yes, they can, and the allowed rule changes to keep servers full XP, which are called verified experiences, is also much more lenient. So from an, I want to organize a group and we want to play these 3 maps in this order on Conquest.
Verified experience. I wonder if a verified experience is like... I wonder how that's going to work. I wonder if it's just like a way where they can just confirm and just say like this mode's like good or something, because like they're not going to verify a mode where you can just like boost through it, you know what I mean?
Again, like, okay, we can create those kind of experiences. Like, I'm aware of that. I understand, like, we're going to be able to make the servers we want to make. The big question on everybody's lips is like, are the tools going to be there to funnel the community into those servers? Because if they aren't, then it's all for naught. It's just not going to work. Now, another popular poster, BSOD Gaming, chimed in on this, and he says if server browsing and the servers players will browse is going to be entirely reliant on player-made and hosted servers, please segregate servers which run official, custom, even slightly custom and or advanced custom extremely edited settings from one another. My biggest issue with 2042 Portal's browser is that everything is thrown into the same list of servers. Players like myself and those I play with want to be easily able to browse a list of servers that run stock settings, without those servers being buried by a host of crazy custom setting servers. And Tigger just say, it's a proper server browser. It comes with filters to let you do just that. In a not too distant future, we will show how it works. So that sounds good. Like, they're gonna elaborate on this a little bit and really spell out for us, like, the ins and outs of the server.
Yeah, show us how
system.
server browsers work.
But they've gone out of their way at the same time during the reveal.
That's good, Tina. You got to take some food pics.
And that sort of shows to me that they don't want to hype it up too much. Like, they're only answering questions on it because people are asking things about it. If they were putting this front and center in their reveal and saying, guys, we listened, the server browser is coming back, then I wouldn't really have any cause for worry. But the way they talk about it here, I have a feeling that it
what's
is
up, man?
Battlefield 2042, where
there he is.
The matchmaking system and the official servers then that you're
How you doing, bud?
will be separate.
Good to hear from you.
Most people will just matchmake into a round and not use the server browser at all. So to me, this is kind of like, it's like a half measure. Like, I'll take it, you know. I honestly was not expecting a server browser in Battlefield 6 at all.
Jim.
You know, the past
no,
years,
food
I know we're
picks,
going away
Jim.
from server
Food.
browsers. Every game is doing it just as much as having battle passes is the trend, right? Or battle royales are the trend. You can't really stop it. That DICE and EA must like have.
I don't think Tina's dropping any feed pics, dude.
Why it's not as good of an idea. Oh, by the way, another good
to be in November, alright.
People are worried about skill-based matchmaking. Well, you can pretty much 100% rule out any skill-based matchmaking if you jump into a server manually, right? All that's going to be there is team balancing. Not that I'm saying I think Battlefield 6 is going to have skill-based matchmaking.
Hope you're doing well, Jim.
But some people do have their doubts, they do have their reservations about that, and this is a surefire way to convince them that it 100% doesn't exist. I would really like to hear DICE's input on this. Like, they're asking us why we want a server browser. A lot of people kind of took badly to that and said, surely you know why we want a server browser, and of course I think they do know, but they want to hear the main reasons behind it.
Oh, you was getting that smoke and stuff? Yeah, that's what we was experiencing like last week.
To meet us
we was experiencing all the stuff from Canada.
I feel like if it is going to turn out the way I've described here in this video, it's going to be a bit of a half solution. Again, like, I'll take it. I think it's better, of course, than having no server browser. But I would just be really curious to hear DICE's take on this. Like, what is the data that they have? What is the reason why just not going with the traditional server browser solution is better? Why is matchmaking better? Like, are players... Is this like a barrier to entry? You know, are players just... I don't know, like, not as smart anymore? Like, is that really that hard to just, like, go in a server browser, click on ping, find a bunch of servers with the lowest ping, and then find servers with enough players in there and click on them?
See, it would just be nice if you just pop up server browser, you just see a list of what's going on, you know? And yeah, of course, you know, if you have, like, a certain filter thing, but then, like, also as well, though, like, a lot of people don't like clicking, you know? I mean, like... You know, like, this isn't like a Delta Force, you know what I mean? You don't want to have, like, a dozen of, clicking, you know what I mean?
Map that you want? I don't know, man. Apparently...
I'm assuming they'll allow you to take photos, Tina.
I would really appreciate, for one, if they could share some of that reasoning behind it, and why apparently it doesn't seem to be working for Battlefield games these days. As always, guys, I really would like to hear what you have to say about this, so leave in your comments down below. What are some of your main reasons for wanting a server browser in the game? Or maybe do you think, you know, it's a thing of the past, it's a relic, and we just don't need it anymore? Leave those comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with everything Battlefield.
Thank you, Ghost. Alright, guys, I have to show you something, okay? So, the reason why we're catching up over the news and everything today, right, is because we wasn't available to stream yesterday, alright? I was pretty busy building something, alright? I built a raised desk. The wife surprised me with an early birthday present, alright? So my desk now raises. You guys want to see it? Look at this, ready? I hit a button. Ready? Oh, hang on. Oh my god. With the chair? Hang on, still going. There we go. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. See this? All this room for activities? See all this? See this? So now we can play games and stand at the same time now. It's like perfect height. It's perfect height. Hang on. One of hang on. All it is? Oh man. Oh. But yeah, we got a stand-up desk, so that's pretty gassed. So now I can play games and stuff and stand at the same time. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it feels really weird, but I'm like pretty gassed about it. That's for sure. Yeah, the wife hid it behind the chair for like 3 days, and I didn't even know. Anyway, let's get back into it, shall we? So this is the one from Jack Frags, right? He's going over the gameplay details.
Battlefield 6 news and updates are coming in thick and fast. I didn't expect to be making another video today about this, but we've just had 2 massive blog posts that have revealed some new information about the game, about the beta, and also some changes that they're making, especially for classes. Some of the changes, quite surprising, going to have a big impact. The other post is about the beta and what to expect in both of the beta weekends. You can actually preload the beta now, by the way, and you can load the game up. So I
it's so cool standing up
on PC, loaded it up, and there's a couple new options in here, so you can go through and you can customize your settings and everything. Also, mouse and keyboard. Looks like those options are there for console, so yeah, mouse and keyboard
troopers
confirmed for console.
You can use mouse and keyboard for this game. That's pretty cool. See, I can't use my mouse and keyboard because it doesn't support it on my console, but I see that you can buy like a cheap mouse and keyboard support for like $30. It's like a thing kind of for it is for PlayStation, but it's just a keyboard and mouse, but it's like super cheap. It's like $30. I might get that down line so I can do mouse and keyboard on my console.
I know a lot of people have been asking about that. First new setting here, as far as I know, as far as I remember, these settings weren't in the build that I played in Los Angeles a couple days ago. So I think this is actually a newer build of the game. But this one I found quite hilarious. So if you go to the audio mix tab here, you know, if you've played Battlefield in the past, you'll have heard of the War Tapes audio mode, which they describe here is a raw and aggressive mix with narrow dynamic range and higher distortion. So you put this on.
Pre-ordered the Phantom Edition? Yeah, I did the same.
Insane. There's so much bass and a bit of distortion. It's really cool, especially if you've got a decent sound system. But they've now added another one here called...
Remember, troopers, anyone wants to support the stream, by the way, for our future streamathon, right? Donate, all right? We're doing $1 every 2 minutes. I feel like that was more reasonable because of how much we're going to be playing. Because obviously I want to grind it and everything, but we also want a decent timer, you know, so I thought I'd just do 2 minutes for $1. All right, so everything's doubled.
AL, and that stands for very aggressive listening. And the description is it expands upon war tapes with further
I'll be here early access. I'll be here at 4 in the morning.
I love this, man. I cannot wait to hear what that sounds like.
That's 9 o'clock in the morning for you, Tina.
I'm definitely going to play my first couple matches using that, just to see how insane it's going to sound with all of the destruction and explosives. It's going to be very cinematic, I think. Of course, you can do all your graphics options too, so configure based on whatever system you've got. I did point this out in the stream, I think,
oh my God, I love this,
a lot of people are going to care about this, especially on PC, and I will love to see this on console too, because this is really good for increasing performance, but also decreasing input lag and decreasing...
Yeah, but that's PC stuff, though. We ain't going to have that in console.
You can actually turn anti-aliasing off, and this has been... God, I mean, I can't even remember the last Battlefield game that this was an option. Maybe BF3? Because then they started doing like TAA and BF4, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait,
but it definitely
no, dude, are you kidding me, Jim? You kidding me? Dude, the Portal, the gameplay, and I think they showed, dude, like, nah, like that's already above and beyond what 2042 is, dude. I didn't wait, man, I bought it. You know what I mean? I think it's one thing for a lot of people to wait before, but like not now. Like, it's too good, dude. It's too good. But the thing is, you don't need to pre-order it because tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, on the 7th, all you need to do is watch the Twitch stream for like 30 minutes and you can get yourself a code, all right? So it's that easy. So you don't even need to pre-order it and you're still going to get an early access code, all right? You just need to watch my Twitch stream on the 7th tomorrow, on the 7th for 30 minutes and you got yourself a beta code. That easy.
Input latency, and on some
I bought it,
monitors,
but this is my job, so I can add it to my taxes.
But now you can turn it off. So if you want the absolute most responsive, lowest latency version of the game, turn that off and see how it goes.
Early access Twitch. Just need to watch 30 minutes.
And you're going to see some of that aliasing on edges, but I'm definitely going to experiment with that. And here you've got something called streamer mode. You can turn this on or off. When enabled, the IDs of the other players on the server will appear differently to you. And then anonymous mode. When enabled, your ID appears different to all other players on the server. Players will not be able to see your actual Battlefield ID. So yeah, obviously this is good for people who are streaming the game and they don't want to be stream sniped. But also, I know there are a lot of people who just want to be anonymous nowadays and they don't want people to know that they're playing a certain game or what their in-game nick is. So good to have this feature all round. This is the first blog that they posted here, the community update, open beta, and the road to launch. There's a bit of an introduction here, and then they say that they're going to take a brief pause on Battlefield
on the 9th. Oh, no, you should have early access, beta. Tina.
So obviously they're going to get a ton of
you bought it, you pre-ordered it,
and feedback from the open beta. I think there's going to be millions of people.
Yes, you can download the beta now.
Sentiment and
you can change your settings.
Around the game online has been so positive. I think the reaction overall has been like 90% positive. A lot of people are going to try this and they'll be able to get all sorts of data and feedback from that. So they're pausing labs until that's over. Fair enough. The first section talks about closed versus open weapons, and they said, we recently shared our goal to connect both new and veteran players to the Battlefield experience. There have been ongoing discussions about previous class systems, including interest in reintroducing closed weapons to classes as a playlist option. To support different playstyles, we're developing functionality that allows you to choose between closed and open weapon modes, starting with the open beta. We're starting with a closed weapon conquest playlist in beta. You'll earn full XP progression in this mode, giving you the freedom to play your way. With the open beta inviting you to our largest play sessions yet, we encourage everyone to try switching between both systems to find out what works best for you.
Dude, Twitch bots are so stupid. Go away.
You'll be able to actually play with closed weapons, which is more like the classic Battlefield style where there are stricter restrictions on
Twitch
weapons.
bots so annoying.
The next bit essentially explains how they are using analytics and data to...
Wait, so the pre-order... No, you bought the game. If there's anyone who should get early access, it's people who bought the game. Let's be real. You know what I mean? If there's anyone who's going to get it, it's people who paid money. Yeah, you can play it on the 7th, Tina. You bought it. That's how I got my code. I could have got mine from labs if I wanted to, but I bought the game. Yeah, search up Battlefield 6 open beta.
Improve the maps and the map design, so they show a little graphic here, and they've used a ton of data from labs to add cover to the maps, change the lanes, the routes, and just make them flow better overall. It's good to see that before the game's even out that they're doing that. And this bit here is quite interesting. We've always loved the fast-paced action of domination and have been exploring the best way to bring revives into the mode, a core element of Battlefield team play that we think really fits. After seeing positive feedback from players, we're excited to introduce reviving as a new mechanic, adding an extra layer of strategy and teamwork to the experience. So at some point, domination didn't have revives, and it sounds like that was the design, but because of player feedback, they've decided to put revives back into that game mode. Time to kill, time to death, weapon balance, how they've used feedback to adjust the values there. They've leveled up the weapon customization. You would have seen that
you got to be getting early access to pre-ordering.
And they've added traits to signature weapons, so if you're playing an open class playlist, if you're using a sniper rifle on recon, for example, you're going to get benefits. So I think you can hold your breath for longer. That's one of the perks from
how's all that stuff, man, you was making yesterday?
And use an SMG, you get better hip fire. Did
you make into juice?
Time to death at the event, I felt like this was a bit of an issue, and I did die behind cover like 3 or 4 times, so hopefully they get to the bottom of that. There were moments where you would die to an assault rifle or an SMG in what felt like an instant, which isn't right. And also 3 or 4
stream August 7th, yes.
Stream, I died behind cover, and it was enough.
I'll be here August 7th.
I think I should flag it and talk about it, because that kind of thing is going to get frustrating if they don't get the netcode up to scratch before launch of the game. Fingers crossed they're paying attention to that. And here's the big update to the classes. They're saying at the moment that it's not the final version of it, and after the open beta, there's going to be more changes and opportunity to move things around, whatever. The big one here is Assault. While Assault has been recognized as a class for frontline medics and a favorite among lone wolf players, we're now placing greater emphasis on team play. With reworked traits and gadgets, Assault offers passive squad benefits that encourage teamwork and provide a stronger support for the squad. The Adrenaline Injector, initially offering a self-healing effect, now clears and boosts resistance to flash and stun effects, enhances tolerance to explosives and incendiary damage, and improves movement speed. We feel that this will reduce their self-sustaining perks and differentiate them from the support class. So they won't be able to self-sustain and self-heal anymore with that injector. And it's more like a, right, I know I'm going to go into a room. It might be explosives, there might be flashbangs. I'm going to use it before I go in, and it might give me a bit of a combat advantage. And this here, Commanding Presence, that's replaced the Enhanced Mobility as the new signature trait.
Of course you're going to get the beta for pre-ordering the game.
And takes you and your team out of combat status faster.
If you spend like over $100 on it, of course you're going to get the early access. You know what I mean?
Also making a substantial change to the gadget pool of the Assault class. This is a big deal. We've renamed the Spawn Beacon to Deploy Beacon, and it's now part of the Assault class gadget pool.
That's so cool. I'm gassed about that change.
Although the Deploy Beacon has traditionally been a staple of the Recon class, it hasn't been without challenges, often being used by solo snipers to redeploy in hard-to-reach places. By moving it to the Assault class...
Yep. So you see what I mean, what he just said there? He said that, you know what I mean, like, right there, you know, because, like, they do a lot of solo sniping, because, yeah, you know, there's a time where you get, like, a sniper, and he's sat at the back of the map, or he's right at the tippity top of the tower, and then he gets sniped, and then bing, he's back again, you know what I mean? And it's just, like, it's just encouraging so many of the sniper campers, and it looks like over the years, they finally realized that people who have spawn beacons on the recon side are not using it properly. And I'm glad that they actually changed it and they're giving it to the Assault class, because, you know, you would think that it makes sense for Recon to have the spawn beacon, but Recon players don't use it properly. You know what I mean? They just use it to sit at the back of the map and camp. You know, that's not where people want to spawn. You know, you're slowing down the flow of it because you're too much of a wussy to push up. You know, so I'm glad that they lost it now.
We're intentionally redefining it as a recon tool for frontline flanking and coordinated squad movement. The Deploy Beacon has a finite number of uses per squad and will self-destruct if the Assault player spawns back on it, making it a tactical and limited resource rather than a persistent advantage. That's what I want to hear, man. We believe this addresses concerns about Assault being too focused on solo play. So these changes overall, pretty huge for Assault, and I do think that they are incentivizing a bigger team play role for Assault. It feels like it is going to be that frontline tip of the spear role that they were talking about. You'll be able to capture objectives faster. You'll be able to get your teammates respawning on you faster because of that out of combat thing. And the spawn beacon, or now deploy beacon, being moved from recon to Assault is massive. Those Assault players that want to run assault rifles, SMGs, pushing objectives, flanking, they can be aggressive, they can drop that spawn beacon down and have their squad come back on them and have their squad spawn in. This could create some incredible tactical advantages for those frontline Assault players. And the icing on the cake here is that they're introducing the Assault ladder gadget. We saw this in the reveal trailer for multiplayer and also in
I'm excited for this ladder, man. This is gonna like make it so you can flank
squads with access to previously unreachable areas, functioning as either a ladder or ramp depending on deployment angle. There's a powerful team play gadget. It enables Assault players to lead not just their squad but their entire team over obstacles, gain height advantages, or surprise the enemy.
They just changed the beacon thing. They just changed it to Assault class. It wasn't even in any of the playtest. Yeah, this is the first time. No one's experienced it unless it's just like behind closed doors. But yeah, even in labs, it wasn't in there.
New ways. Game-changing gadget, that is. Getting into windows that typically would just be covered by one staircase. Getting onto lower down rooftops. Unexpected flanks. Yes, I foresee that there could be some issues with this in terms of
no reason not to buy now. No. I bought it, dude.
Into spots that they shouldn't be, especially because
I waited long enough,
beacon now too.
And they showed me what it is.
Is looking at that and they've got a lid on it, but super cool gadget. Imagine the memes with this thing too. Engineering support, not many changes with those for beta. They said that they're feeling pretty happy with those and how they're fulfilling their roles. I would agree with that. Recon, this is another bigger change here. We saw the opportunity to strengthen the disinformation and sabotage component of its role. With that in mind, we set out to redefine one of Recon's training paths by removing Pathfinder and replacing it with Spec Ops, a nod to the stealthy, explosive focus class last seen in Battlefield 2. Yes, I'm old. Yes, I played a lot of Battlefield 2, and the Spec Ops class had kind of like a stealthier CQC approach, so suppressed weapons, and it definitely fit that Spec Ops role, but I digress. So this is the path for anyone that wants to take on the stealth function of their squad, providing them with insights on troop movement while quietly operating behind enemy lines. And these are the training paths. So if you pick this training path, this is one you get to start with, and that will allow for quieter takedowns, crouch, and prone movement. Level 1, and you have to earn these as you play. This will spot nearby enemy gadgets, except when sprinting. That's going to be very valuable. And then level 2, going prone, takes you out of combat much faster.
Anything gonna follow? If you're a bot, you're getting banned.
That's a pretty big deal because it seems like there's so many things that can actually spot you in this game. In addition, the Recon class features an active ability at level 3 that lets you call.
That's how I'm welcoming people on Twitch now.
Passive spotting.
Oh, get banned.
Recon signature trait,
This is ridiculous, dude.
Automatically spots enemies while you're aiming down sights. You'll be fully equipped to play out the intelligence and counterintelligence.
The bots are getting too much now. The bots are getting too much on Twitch.
Because like I said, there were so many things in the game that seemed to spot you already. There was an attachment in BF4 that you could put on your guns. That when
the bots are getting too much.
So that was more of a trade-off, and I was kind of okay with that. But I just hope that they don't go overboard in this game with how many times that you're spotted or on the minimap. We've been through this before in a lot of Battlefield games, and if you go too far with it, it can kill flanking gameplay. And that's a massive part of Battlefield. So I hope that DICE are monitoring this and paying attention to it. And the second big post that we got today is everything you need to know for the open beta. There's a lot of information
what's up, man?
here about what game modes and maps we're going to be playing on each weekend. So
is it true that you added server browser? Oh, dude, you just missed all the server browser news. We just went over all of the server browser stuff, but they haven't said anything yet. It's gonna lose a founder's badge. It's all right. You know what I should do, Jim? There you go, Jim. There you go. So if you see anything as a bot, just ban it. I know DJ comes in there time to time too. But yeah, you see anything, just ban them, man. I modded you.
In a couple days, we're going to be able to play Iberian Offensive, Liberation Peak, and Siege of Cairo in Conquest, Closed Weapon Conquest, Breakthrough, Domination, and
oh yeah, man. Of course I'm going to play Battlefield. I haven't done it for a while because there's nothing going.
One maps and Empire State. That's the map set in New York. I had a lot.
So the first week, by the way, on week 1, we're getting a newer map what we never played before. That's going to be good. And the Empire State map, what we all saw, that's going to be available on week 2.
Fun playing that on Conquest. I think it's going to be a bit of a fan favorite. And modes, all week 1 modes, Rush, Squad Deathmatch, and more. So maybe some surprises.
No, the other one has the problem too with bots.
Both open beta weekends too to unlock cosmetics, and I think these will carry across to the main game when it launches. Tank skin there. Bat Company dog tag. Right, that's going to be sought after. I wonder if they've done that because it's Halloween soon. So that's cool to see. Get those in the beta, use them in the full game. So it does actually say what the challenges are here when you scroll down. Pretty straightforward. Tips for weekend 1: train for the battle. Create or join a match with bots using breakthrough initiation. I think is that the first time they've confirmed bots in the game? So that might be like 2042 where you can start a match and just play against bots. And weekend 2, Empire State, man. Really fun.
So what, before the game starts, you could just like practice against bots and stuff? Yeah. Oh, Dave! Dave! What's up, man? How you doing, bud? So looking for a minute? Yeah, that's alright, it's alright. It's good to see you, bud.
Really enjoyed it. It looks incredible as well. All the modes. Rush as well. Gonna play Rush that weekend. How'd you get the Bat Company one? Here it is. Get 200 kills or assists. Bat Company dog tag. Yeah, everyone's gonna want that. Try out a new gadget. Each one brings a new dimension to combat. I wonder if the assault ladder is gonna be in the build. I don't know because it wasn't in the build.
I don't know, Jim, about that.
It's definitely.
They haven't announced it yet.
Though, so
But you're not going to
But yeah,
find
that's
that in
it.
the beta.
Like I said, updates coming thick
The
and
beta
fast
ain't
now.
gonna-
One final thing.
The
If
server
you-
browser stuff ain't going to be available in the beta. That's going to be launch stuff. We're going to hear more about that down the line. I think they're just not ready to announce anything just yet. I think they just want to see how this turns out right now before they start giving more information. Oh, I bought it. I bought the Phantom Edition. I think it's like $100.
Load the game and you've got the music turned on, you can.
I just got the best
this is
one.
the music. Music sounding good so far. Really enjoying it. Maybe I'll play a little bit for the outro and you can have a
Yeah,
listen.
it's like a
Anyway,
20
guys,
tier
as always,
skip
thank you so much
for
for
the
the
Battle
support and
Pass.
love on the Battlefield 6 videos. Amazing. Really enjoying it. Of course, there'll be more content towards the end of the week on BF6. And if there's any updates in between then, I'll make a video if there's a big enough splash and it's enough that I feel like I should cover it. Drop me a like, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Alright, guys. So the next one we have now, right? Wait. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's do it. The camera freezing again. Look at that, man. How cool is that? Right, so this is the comparing one of destruction. Looks like Neon got taller. Dude, I'm so gassed about the desk. Yeah, so I can stand up now while gaming. That's going to be so good for the streamathon. So I can actually stand up, stretch my legs. Yeah, so shout out to the wife, by the way. She hid this massive box behind the chair for like 3 days and I didn't even know. But yeah, she got me an early birthday present and it was an L raised desk. So I can raise it all the way up or raise it all the way down or whatever height I would like it to be. It's good, man. I'm super gassed about it. Really happy about it. It took me like 2 to 3 hours to build it. Yep, so now I got some extra desks now, so that's good, so I can give that to Feynix when he comes over here and streams with me. Yeah, Feynix is going to be here on the 14th to the 17th. Man, like, look at that. Look how much happens with just one explosion. You know what I mean? Destructible as always should be, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that the rubble is disappearing too. Good eye there. Good eye. so much that's destructible, though. Look at it, man. Just the smallest little detail, you know what I mean? Not like I'm gonna clean that rubber up. It's like having a food fight and then you're like, oh man, someone's got to clean this. Oh, she's gonna show you stuff. Just gonna see how much you could destroy. Oh, another bot. That's like, what, a 4th Twitch bot? Thank you, whoever removed that. I don't know if it's DJ or Jim, but thank you. I don't know why they just keep coming in. Yeah, they got really bad. The last like 5 days, they got really, really bad. So I read apparently it says that no pre-orders that don't get early access to on the 7th for Phantom Edition. So I missed out. There's no way you're gonna miss out. There's no way. How can you miss out on a beta by buying the game? There is no way. You just spend like all that money. There is no. Have you tried to search it up on your console yet, Tina? There is no way. So yeah, that's what they heard. There was no way, dude. Like, you spend all that money. You spend like over $100, right? And you're trying to tell me you can't get a beta code? There is no way. There is no way, man. You have to have the code. For spending that much money. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean? That, what a kick in the teeth, right? That you spend like over $100 on a game and you can't get a code, yet people could sit there for 30 minutes on Twitch and get one. That's insane. Why have they done it like that? Yeah, why did you... Well, as long as you got in, Tina, through labs, then you should be fine. Because you already signed up, right? It says only labs? Really? So they could have made some money on that way too. Yeah, I thought I got my code, like my beta, because I bought it. Why did you not sign up for labs? If you signed up for labs, you get an email. Yeah, you don't even need to be invited. I keep saying this crazy amount to people. Like literally, yeah. If you already signed up for labs, even if you didn't get invited, then you're fine. You're fine. You're guaranteed to be in. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone should be in this beta now. Everyone should be in there. You know what I mean? Because, like, everyone at least everyone signed up for labs, right? They announced labs in February. I think it was in February they announced labs. So, you know what I mean? So, like, everyone's had, like, what, 6 months to sign up? And as I said, yeah, you do need to get in there. I told everyone anyway, you want to sign up for labs, because even if you don't get in there, I guarantee there's some sort of benefit. And it was. It was. Hopefully, it might be the same way for the BR too, because it looks like the BR is going to start on labs too. Yeah, have a look at that email. No, it wasn't 2 months ago. They just said it was after the 31st. You can't. Anything before the 31st. Hunt Lord, what's up, man? It's your second day here joining. Hey, hopefully we can make us a third, you know what I mean? It's good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you coming in. Can I get a follow? If you're a Twitch bot, you're getting banned. Kind of funny. No. No, it was, I can get, every time I get like a follow on Twitch or something, it pops up as a bot, so I'm just like, if you're a bot, you're getting banned. Yeah, there's a lot of bots on my Twitch side. Oh, was it you who followed me? Oh shit, have a look who it was. No. Yes, if you do not have a beta code or you wasn't in labs, okay, I want and I need everyone to get ready, okay? Because on the 7th, you can actually download it all, okay? Because on the 7th, you're going to get yourself a code. Right, and all you need to do on that day, right, you need to watch the Twitch stream for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, that's it. That's all you need to watch, is 30 minutes. Anyway, let's get into this. So this one is the entire beta info. They're talking about the week 1, the modes, the rewards you can get, the week 2 maps, and the week 2 modes, rewards. Obviously the Twitch drops as well, because there's going to be a lot of Twitch drops. It's a shame, honestly, that drops isn't available on YouTube. I don't know why they're not. Like, that's a big reason why I wanted to stream on Twitch and stuff, because they do all these drops. But it's a shame that they don't do it on YouTube, man. It's a shame. If only you can get like drops over here. So got an invite, so can't wait. Hey, let's go, man.
Yo, what is up, guys?
No, Tina, just watch the Twitch stream for 30 minutes. Just watch this Twitch stream for 30 minutes and get yourself a code. And you can get yourself in. But why? But the thing is, you should already been signed up for labs. You should already been signed up for labs. You should already had that signed up like since February. So just check your emails. The one you signed up for. Check your emails. Everyone should be in.
Guys, it goes here. Welcome back to
There's
the channel.
no reason
Today
for it, honestly. The pre-order stuff though is some BS.
To go over here.
That's wild though.
Dice, but I also wanted to just reiterate how you guys can get your hands on the early access for the beta, and if you already have, how you can log into your EA account to check that it's actually been flagged on your account and you're going to be good to go on the 7th. Today,
why are you guys not signing up for labs?
Mr. llJeezusll once again, who was over at the London event, so big shout out to him. Check out his channel in the link down in the description.
You don't have an account?
Always,
what the frick?
Up to date with everything in the...
So do I need to sign up? So can I still... Yeah, you can sign up now, but it's too late. What the frick? How are you guys not signed up? It's the labs. It's so important, man. This gives you, like, this is the core invitation to the Battlefield experience, you know what I mean? So you can play stuff early, you know what I mean? You can, like, the thing is, like, you can see as well why they're doing labs, because it's actually hitting the core audience for the Battlefield peeps. It's not hitting the COD peeps. Signing labs is free. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't get invited, even if you didn't get in there, you should still be, you still get the one. See, COD fan, and that's fine. Yeah, people outside of the Battlefield scene didn't know anything about labs, but all the people in the Battlefield scene know exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Well, everyone's been talking about all the leaked gameplay, you know what I mean? You know, as I'm saying, like, you know, you guys could be in there too if you just sign up. You know? Like, they had a stress test in, when was it? We're allowed to talk about it now, so I can actually talk about this. This is crazy. But there was a stress test in May. And it went on for like 2 weekends. No, it went on for an entire weekend. So I had about like 20 plus hours from it or something. I slobbed that weekend out, man. And there was a couple of people who played with me, Opticmstr. You know what I mean? We can talk about all of that now. Yes, I'm saying, guys, you are literally missing out. I've already played with majority of the troopers from labs as it is. You just need to sign up, man. Just need to sign up. It's free, you don't need to pay. You know what I mean? But labs is basically building what it is now. Anyone have access to the game right now? No, because it isn't out yet. It comes out on the 7th.
All over Battlefield 6, the beta, everything beyond that, you guys will find it all here on the channel. And big thank you to you guys for the support over the past few days. It's been crazy, both the streams and the videos. So thank you guys so much for that. Alright, so first of all, let's talk a little bit about just what we're going to get our hands on in this beta. So DICE just dropped a brand new blog post detailing all of this information. So for the first weekend, that is going to be the 7th to the 10th of August, 7th and 8th being, of course, the early access days, and then the 9th and 10th being open for everybody.
So in the labs, so where was the squad?
During the beta, you'll get to
maps
set in iconic locations around the world. Each map has different combat zones. Combat zones are handcrafted configurations.
Search up Battlefield Labs. It's too late now. It's too late. You will not get a code from Battlefield Labs. It's already, that's already stopped. And Battlefield Labs has already been paused too. You know? It's already been paused. You should still sign up though, because you're probably going to miss out on the BR. Smokey. No, don't spend money on codes. Oh, dude, I'm going to go nuts in a minute. I'm going to go nuts. Just on the 7th, watch the stream for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, that's it. All right? You know what I mean? Like, literally, just whip your phone out, right? Hit the stream for Battlefield, sonk back out in bed or something, or whatever you're doing, I don't know, and just leave it. Just leave it, and you know, boom, ta-da! You got yourself a code. You're like, wowee, right? And then you just put that code into the thingamajibby, and then ta-da! You know what I mean? Like,
variety of modes. For example, the Conquest version of Siege of Cairo would include the area used in
I'm gonna help you guys get a code, okay? I promise you. I promise you.
Games, but hate the grind? With WeMod, you can be invincible, unimaginably wealthy, or
DJ, are you gonna play on the 7th? Do you want a code? Do you want to play on the 7th?
However, the placements of objects, how destruction is used,
if you want to play a code now, if you're gonna play the beta on the 7th,
taking great care to ensure that combat
I'll get you sorted with a code now,
so that each play space fits the mode you selected, when it comes to scale, intensity, and tactical options. So that's kind of interesting there. What they're saying is, depending on the game mode, the map is actually going to
Can't leave my mod high and dry, man. This is ridiculous. I'm freaking out.
Sort of shoehorned in there, and really most maps were just created around conquest, right? But it sounds this time around like they have actually taken a little bit more forethought in that regard. So first off, we have Siege of Cairo. It says prepare for intense urban combat on the streets of central Cairo, where combat is a game of cat and mouse between infantry and tanks, fighting alleys, duck in and out of buildings, and always watch your six. So this is the map with all of these really
yes,
long
you'll be
buildings.
available to play tomorrow.
A linear map,
well,
but there are a lot of buildings in and around there, and sort of central areas where the armor on the ground can't really get
but
to.
yeah, like midnight, like late night, you know what I mean?
Then we have Liberation Peak.
I'm just going to get to bed really early.
Glorious mountainside. This vast rocky terrain provides cover for jets and helicopters during aerial dogfights, or a height advantage for infantry and tanks. You guys will have seen plenty of gameplay of this one, I'm sure. And then we have the Iberian Offensive. Sprint through Gibraltar's winding streets, stalk its alleyways, dodge heavily armoured tanks, and tear through buildings. This map has many ways to secure a tactical advantage. So this one is in Gibraltar, of course. This was actually, I would say, my second favourite map from playing in the labs. I think you guys are going to be in for a treat with that one. Now, moving on to the modes here, they say all these modes have been designed to be elevated by Battlefield's fundamental design pillars. Classes,
DJ, do you need a code?
Gameplay, and a hell of a lot of destruction. So first
four in the morning, EST gym.
Signature all-out war experience, where tanks, jets, and attack helicopters turn the tides of battle. Two teams fight to control multiple key objectives.
Yeah, the servers will go live at 4 in the morning. It obviously depends on what time and everything. I think that people like myself, I'm obviously on the US side, so being up 4 in the morning playing the game, you can probably imagine the servers are going to be okay. But I think EU side is going to be wild. Yeah, it's at 4 in the morning. That's Eastern Standard. That's when we're going to be streaming. Well, I'm going to be streaming around like just before 5 in the morning. Just in case I like make sure everything's all set up.
Spread across the map, holding more objectives steadily drains enemy lives, and the match ends when one team's lives hit 0. So for anybody who's new and not familiar with Battlefield, that is generally how Conquest works. The more people you kill, the more flags you hold, you drain the enemy tickets, and once
DJ, do you need a code?
You win the game. Then we have Closed Weapons Breakthrough. Not to be confused with regular breakthrough. So it says an intense, objective-driven mode where attackers work to secure sectors and push the front line forward, while defenders fight to hold or retake ground and drain the attackers' limited lives. This time with the addition of class-locked weapons. Then we've got regular breakthrough, which I assume then means we're going to have this with like open weapons. And again, for anyone unfamiliar with how breakthrough works, basically maps are divided into like sequential sectors. You have to capture 2 points, and the attackers have to capture them, the defenders have to stop the attackers.
Yeah, everyone's saying to me that pre-orders don't get early access. What I think is wild. How is that not the case? Like, if you spend that much money, how do you not get a code? You know what I mean? That's insane.
The attackers get a certain number of
wait for your keyboards
or lives that they
so
can
do you
spend.
want one?
Once you get through that first sector, then you get on to the next one. And usually, I think there's like around 4 sectors. And if you get through all of them, you win the game. Then we're also going to have domination here. So it says capture and hold multiple control points to outpace the enemy and don't hold back. This mode moves fast. So this is pretty much like mini conquest, really. I mean, just like domination from Call of Duty. Then you've got King of the Hill. Squads battle to control a single capture point. The more time ticks down, the fiercer the fight gets. I'm sure everybody knows how.
As long as you can play the weekends. All right, okay.
A bit of a graphic showing some of the rewards that you're going to be able to get on both of these beta weekends. So on August 9th and 10th here, I'm assuming you can also get these if you're in the early access on the 7th and the 8th. You get this
DM me, Tina, then. DM me.
Soldier skin. There's some weapon charms there. There's this domination weapon package. And then there's this lights out player card. And then for the second weekend on the 14th till the 17th of August, which is going to be completely open, you'll get...
Yeah, I bought the Phantom Edition.
I don't know if that's a typo. Is it supposed to be Bad Company? Maybe it's not a typo, maybe there is a Bat Company, who knows? And then you get the Striking Distance weapon package. Now, to earn these rewards, you do actually have to fulfill certain challenges. So, for some of them, it's just like reach level 10, reach level 15, reach level 20. But then here, for the Assault class, you have to get 50 close quarters kills within 10 meters for the striking distance weapon pack, so probably the skins you're actually interested in, you do have to fulfill certain criteria. For support, you've got to revive 100 teammates. For the engineer, you've got to repair 3,000 health to vehicles, and then for recon,
yes, you had to watch for 4 hours to get all the Twitch drops.
All this stuff, you are going to have to play all 4 classes and make sure that you're fulfilling these requisites here. I don't know if these are going to be like tracked in game and you can see them, or you just sort of play the game enough and all of a sudden it'll pop up and you get the thing. Now for weekend number 2, they're going to change it up here. It says it brings a new map, more modes, and more ways to dominate. Tackle fresh objectives and play through new challenges to unlock rewards. The fight's only just getting started. So for maps here, we've got all the maps from weekend 1 plus Empire State, which is the new map that they were playing in the reveal event. I've not played this one. I don't think this one's been play tested at all in labs. And it says infantry only map featuring explosive engagements spanning alleys, rooftops, and the iconic streets of Brooklyn, New York. As for the modes, it says play all the modes from weekend 1 plus Rush, Arm and Defuse. A team of attackers and defenders battle for control of a series of military communication systems, or MCOMs. Attackers have to plant explosives at each system and prevent defenders from defusing them before they detonate. When all MCOMs are destroyed, the fight moves to the next sector. The match ends when all MCOM systems are destroyed or the attackers run out of lives. So this is pretty much like Breakthrough, with the main difference being you have to actually arm these objectives and wait for them to explode rather than capping an objective. And then we've also got Squad Deathmatch coming in. So it says grab a gun and squad up for a fast-paced, close quarters deathmatch. 4 squads compete for victory with one simple objective: first to reach the kill target wins. Now, once again, we have more challenges for this second week, so if you want to get all this stuff, you're going to have to play both weeks. And the first one is capture 42 flags in Conquest, Domination, or King of the Hill for the War Machine vehicle skin. Then we've got get 200 kills or assists for the Bat Company dog skin, and then capture 10 sectors in Breakthrough or Rush for the Dominion weapon package. So that one is going to be...
Hopefully they have like a cool tracking thing then for the challenges we can complete. Some cool challenges. Doesn't seem like they're that stressful.
Pretty easy to get, right? You just play the game. It doesn't seem to matter which class you play. Now, in addition to those rewards, there are going to be Twitch drops starting on the 7th of August. So you can watch for 1 to 4 hours, and for each hour you watch, you're going to get one of these skins here. So yeah, I'm just going to
have my phone open, just watching my own stream.
Package. Then there's this Landslide Soldier skin and the Imperial Soldier skin that, strangely, they haven't actually shown us here in the little graphic, but I'm sure those are going to be interesting to see. I think we all want to see like more Battlefield 6 cosmetics and what those hold for us. Now, just before we move on to the next part of the video here, I did want to mention this because I think it's maybe a typo in this blog post that EA have released, because here is a graphic showing basically a summary of all this information, and you'll notice it doesn't say Closed Weapons Breakthrough, it says Closed Weapons Conquest, which would make more sense to me, because if they're only going to have one playlist for Closed Weapons, which seems a bit unfair to be honest, I would say it would rather be, you know, Conquest and Breakthrough. But in the descriptions I've just read for you, there is no listing of a closed weapon.
Yeah, so you know the video I made, guys, talking about the worry of them not splitting the player base and everything, just by adding like closed weapons to locked weapons? And I was like, oh man, I imagine if they're going to do like locked weapons for everything, you know what I mean, the whole thing. And I was really worried about it, and I was like, oh, god damn it, you know, that's going to split the player base. Like, and a lot of people's like, well, they're trying to get 100 million, you know what I mean, that still doesn't really matter. But what I kind of realized is that, you know, like, that it's still going to be suck, because like, it's going to be splitting it by your friends and everything. But by the looks of it, it seems like the open weapons is the main part of this game. So that's what we're all going to be properly playing. And the locked weapons, it seems like it's just going to be one playlist. So I don't think the locked weapon's ever going to come back, but it looks like they're just going to have one playlist for it. So that isn't really going to change like the entire player base, because it's just a playlist.
Weapons Conquest, but there is, as I've just shown you, a Closed Weapons Breakthrough. So which one is the typo? Is it a typo in the description? Is it a typo in the graphic here? Is it going to be Conquest or Breakthrough or both? I don't really know. Hopefully a community manager is going to answer me this on Twitter, and if I find out, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Now, for anybody who wants to actually get in on the 2 days of early access on the 7th and the 8th, I want to just reiterate stuff I've mentioned in previous videos and streams, but there are currently 3 ways that you can be in there. The first way is that you had to have signed up for Battlefield Labs not been accepted into Battlefield Labs, but simply signed up for Labs before July 31st. If you did that, you should have gotten an email that tells you, hey, your EA account has been flagged for the early access and you're good to go. And I'm going to show you guys in a second how you can go and check that out. But if you didn't sign up, you're kind of out of luck on that front. The second way is to watch a Twitch streamer and get a drop from them and then go and redeem that code. Now the drops seem to have stopped since the reveal event. There were also a few happening on the 1st of August. They haven't been kickstarted as of yet, but I do wonder if maybe once the early access begins and people start streaming it all over Twitch, maybe they're going to start those drops up again. So if you tune in, you may be able to secure yourself a key and get in early with everybody else. But I'm not promising you guys, that's not like a sure
okay, TJ.
It's not been confirmed by DICE or EA anywhere I've seen. So, you know, just take that with a grain of salt. And then the third way you can get in is actually by being a member of EA Play Pro. So if you have that subscription, you are automatically...
I think that's what Feynix did.
Access. So in theory, you could go and purchase a single month. I think it costs $17 or 17 euros or your regional equivalent. And then, you know, if you don't like the service, you can just cancel it afterwards. But I don't know, is it worth paying $17 just for 2 days of early access when you can get in? I would probably say no. You know, you're going to get plenty of days, I think, to try it out anyway. But if you're, like, desperate, then that is a way you can get in there. Now, finally here, I want to give you guys some instructions of how you can actually check if you've got the early beta access. Because if you log into your EA account, there is nothing anywhere that tells you have the early access. If you've downloaded the Battlefield 6 beta client like I have and you log in there, it doesn't tell you if you're actually going to get the early access. Like, people can download the client right now and set up their options and stuff like that, regardless of whether you have the early access or not. So what you need to do is go to the link in the video description, which will allow you to log into your EA account. Once you've logged into the account, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page and find the option that says download your data. What you do is you have to now request your data for your EA account. It'll send you a verification to your email address. You accept that, and once you've done it, they will start processing your data for your account. It says it can take up to like 2 hours, but for me it took like less than 5 minutes, and then they send you another email where you can download your data. So download that. It'll come in a zip file. Go ahead and open up this file here that says request and then some number EA account info.html.
What the
frick? It should then open up in Chrome or whatever browser you use. And then once you're in there, it'll give you a bunch of information about your EA account. If you go to entitlements, you will have a whole list of things that have been flagged on your EA account that you have access to. And if you see this one here that says beta_early access and it says status active, you can see the exact date and time that it was added to your account. You can also see above here, Glacier Steam. This is the code name, the inside name essentially for Battlefield 6. So you can see that that was also added to my account here 14 minutes past 3 when I downloaded it yesterday on the 4th. If you see the beta early access there as active, then you will be good to go. Now, as far as I understand it, whatever platforms are linked to your EA account, you will have this beta early access on those platforms. So for me, I've got my Steam account linked. I've also got my PlayStation.
I know I'm in because I already played Battlefield Labs.
I could download it on PlayStation and play there, or on Steam.
So nice, actually. I could say I played Labs now.
I'm not sure how this works with the people who redeem the code, because I didn't redeem a code, and maybe some of you guys who have.
Yeah, we wasn't allowed to talk about Labs for a hot minute.
Below, just for transparency's sake, but I think you have to actually choose a platform there, and it will probably ask you which platform you want to play out of the ones that are linked to your account. So if that is the case, just make sure you choose the right platform, whether it be Steam or just, you know, regular old EA app or your PlayStation or your Xbox. Oh yeah, just before I wrap up the video, another important thing to state here is that the Battlefield 6 beta, just like Battlefield 2042 these days, is going to require secure boot. This is an option that you need to enable in your motherboard's BIOS. I'm going to try and find some guides for you and link them in the description.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie with you. I'm not gonna lie. Right, the last 2 minutes, right, of this video is the reason why I don't like doing PC gaming. That is the main reason why. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, like, do this and do that, and you gotta download this file and then open this one up, and then you gotta see if it actually says active on this code. And then it's just like, you know, like, now you, like, to play the game, you gotta make sure to boot up your motherboard. And, like, the thing is, right, you'll be amazed, right, the average person doesn't know about the motherboard, like, the BIOS stuff. Because even I don't mess about with BIOS. I don't. When I had the computer issue and stuff, I had like, it was BIOS problem, and I didn't even know how to fix it. I had Feynix to fix it. Like, that's the thing, like, the average Joe just doesn't know, like, about all that crazy stuff. Although, if you just got a basic computer, then it should be enabled anyway.
Because I understand...
But that's why I'm glad I'd be on console, man. It's just simple.
Some people, maybe if you've never even heard of the BIOS and you don't know what that is, you know, it's different for every motherboard as well.
I had a friend who had his unresponsive. He had to do a whole new Windows.
If you find you're getting an error message and you can't get into the game because you don't have secure boot enabled, you're going to be kicking yourself. So definitely go and get that sorted out. Go and get the beta downloaded. Get your settings dialed in so when it drops, we can all just jump in together. So hopefully that clears up any confusion for people.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
I'm pretty excited. There's only 2 days to go. I will be streaming here, both on YouTube and also over on Twitch from 8 o'clock in the morning on the Thursday, on the 7th, as soon as it becomes available. So if anybody does need a key, if drops are available, I'll have those up on my channel as well. Feel free to swing by and grab yourself one of those. Otherwise, of course, you can get the drops for all of the cosmetics, and all these cosmetics here, they are, of course, going to carry over into the main game, but progression will not. So I hope to see some of you guys there. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like below, subscribe to stay up to date with everything Battlefield 6.
Yes, so the progression doesn't cross over, okay? So there's no progression from this one to the live beta, like to the actual launch of it, right? So whatever you ranked up in your level and all of that, it'll get reset, okay? Right, now we got this last one from Tactical Brit, right?
What's up with all the
he's going to go over the settings for this game, okay? Because he went really in depth with it. And yeah, it's just like even the clip here was scump. Like, a lot of people praised him with the settings. So I know he's going to go pretty in depth with them. So I feel like this would be a good one to find out if there's anything I'm missing.
Battlefield 6 is the only game where I have ever had to use mathematical charts in order to figure out the best controller settings and general best settings for most players. But I did all the hard work so that you don't have to, because Battlefield 6's menu system, as well as the settings that are available, are obscenely complicated in the beta. They don't make a lot of sense. There are a lot of settings that are hugely important for how your gun feels in the game that are buried away beyond menu upon menu. There are entire settings in this game that can radically change whether or not you can shoot straight, that are simply tucked away, and the majority of you probably would not even notice. So I decided to dive on in using the power of maths, Wolfram Alpha, and some other AI tools to figure out the best possible settings, as well as information from previous Battlefield games that I have covered in the past. This video will be split up into chapters as well, and there are a lot of other important settings in this game, like motion blur, motion settings, screen shake, and also HUD elements that can greatly improve your gameplay, and I will be including those in this video too. So if it's down to me, I'd say watch the entire thing because you'll probably learn something, but if not, feel free to skip to those chapters and make sure you drop a like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 200k, and it does make a huge difference.
Oh, how close is he?
Change for the launch of this game, I will be making a video for those as well.
Oh, he's still got a bit, But yeah, if you guys haven't followed Tactical Brit, you got it, man.
I will list them there for you.
Got to represent, you know what I mean?
To ignore is the accessibility settings. Now, obviously, there are some things in here like tinnitus that are very person-specific, but one thing you don't want to avoid is color presets. In color presets, you can set this away from colorblind mode straight into custom mode, and then in modify, set specific colors for your friendlies, your squad, and your enemies. Now, by default out of the box, they tend to come as a slightly paler palette, but I tend to prefer something that is a bit more dark. They tend to sort of come out here on the color wheel. I think going right into the corner and selecting the color that you want, giving you more vibrant colors for both your friendlies and your enemies, creates a better differentiation for them in-game. And I think this is a setting that absolutely everybody should use. I personally put my enemy color to the brightest possible red. Pink is also an option as well, as something that is very distracting and something that you don't see in game. And those are two colors that I feel work incredibly well and allow you to see opponents quite easily. In this same tab, you're going to find a brightness setting as well that for by default is set to 50. Now, depending on the display and what you're using, I personally use an OLED monitor. I actually set this to around 60 to 65 just to get a bit more brightness in dark corners, and I feel that this works really, really well. You'll also have the camera effects tab, which you do need to hit modify on. You want to turn
this is so important, guys.
Weapon motion blur. You also want to turn off HUD motion, camera shake, chromatic aberration, and infantry crosshair projection.
This one.
Now, this means that your crosshair is going to judder with the movement in the game. Disabling it means you get a static crosshair in the game that is always aligned to the center of the screen. If you're somebody who suffers with motion blur, having it slightly judder can be helpful, but for the most part, most players want this setting off. Another really important setting in Battlefield 6 is the ability to customize your HUD. You can actually turn off HUD motion for vehicles and soldier, which I highly recommend.
Yes.
And you can even disable the HUD entirely if you wanted to. But going into advanced HUD settings is going to allow you to change the horizontal padding, change the size of your minimap, the opacity of the minimap, the field of view cone, things that are just little nice settings to have and little nice things to change. Even the big map opacity. You can even have a dynamic minimap that follows the direction that you are facing. So those are all really nice to haves. But if you scroll down further on from that inside the HUD section, which you'll have to go back to because escaping from any menu for whatever reason pulls you out, you can actually change the icon intensity, which is really, really important.
So catch you tomorrow? Alright, Dave, I'll catch you tomorrow, man.
The size of every icon in the game.
Yeah, it'll be our last stream before the beta.
75%. I drop the opacity ever so slightly. I do the same for my friendlies too. I drop them to like 80%. Drop the opacity down to like 85, 90. And I find that this basically just allows me to focus on the squad around me and the enemies that I leave at 100% scale and 100% opacity. Everything else can be dropped down. Everything else can be downscaled so that you don't have the focus because you don't necessarily need it. Whereas for me personally, the enemies are the only thing that I really care about, as well as my squad mates. I can even drop my squad mates down ever so slightly, and this is going to change the entire viewport of your HUD interface, which is really, really cool. Further on from that, if you're somebody who really, really likes that degree of customization, you can carry on and even change your crosshairs. You can change the size of your crosshair in terms of opacity and intensity. You can also change the crosshair color, which I personally set to
Hey, Catalyst, what's up, man?
In either red or pink. And you can even change the thickness to
Dwarfking Neons are back in the days.
Make it
I'll show my British inheritance, you know what I mean?
So you can have
honestly, man, I think it's had its time. You know what I mean? I branded it for 10 years.
This tells me that a shot is white, a headshot is
I think
yellow, and a kill is
it's still
red.
a thing.
So this is something that I
it's slowly changing. I thought, considering the new Battlefield, it's going to be a lot of new faces. With them new faces, that's first impressions. So I thought this would be a good time to show a little bit of a first impression to people. You know? Got to think about it. I started all that when I was young. Now I'm getting older.
An entire setting suite.
So it's definitely changed, but I can never be mad about it, man. Never be mad about it. I'm always honored and proud of it, you know. Dude, I managed to make a job wearing a pink wig. I'm pretty gassed about that, dude. You know what I mean? Not many people can say stuff like that. So.
By tapping
and the change has done nothing, man. The change is nothing's changed. You know what I mean?
In the game. That's the only thing that
I think that's the thing. We evolved so much now that I just don't need it.
It is out of the box, but some of them may be to your personal taste, so feel free to take a look through. Now, moving on down to this, you have controller vibration. I personally turn all of these off. Some of you might be on PlayStation and prefer the custom mixes or the tension in your triggers, but for me, this isn't a setting that I play with, and I turn all of these off. I also turn off the hints, the tutorials, get all of these off the screen. I don't need to see them. The next tab is the gameplay tab, and you have an entire set of suite for invert options if you're somebody who plays invert. But here I set my infantry aim sensitivity to 40, and this is something that we will be tweaking and giving customization options to in the controller setting, so pay no attention to that for now. You also have a barrage of options in terms of what you want in terms of landing rolls, sprinting to open things, vault over sprint, for example, things that can be done pretty sufficiently if you want them off and on. But like I mentioned, the only setting that I've changed here is prioritize interact, as well as instant mount breakout when my weapon is mounted. I also set my vehicle aim sensitivity to 40 to match my infantry sense, but again, this is something that we are going to go over. But at the very bottom with the aim assist tab, please do not turn any of these off or change them. I've seen a number of misleading guides on the internet saying that you should turn down zoom snap or turn it off or turn this off. Do not touch any of these. Turning these off is going to massively hamper your gameplay and make you...
Oh, this is a tactical Brit. We're just going over some of the gameplay stuff.
Next
he obviously played it early, so...
Controller tab. And the first thing you're going to want to do here is change every single one of the soldier, vehicle, aircraft, gunner, but not transports, and helicopters to the button layout alternate. Now, what this does for Soldier is that it moves crouch to the right analog stick instead of it being circle. So melee, for example, in the game out of the box is clicking into the right analog stick. You don't want that. You want the ability to crouch and slide by clicking into your right analog stick, which is what everybody does in first-person shooters. And you want your melee to be on circle because you're going to use it less frequently and it's not something you're going to use as often. But as for
he must have a custom controller though if he's jumping his A button.
Pressing edit preset and then switching it to alternate.
Get an early access kit? Yeah. Yeah, I was a part of labs, so I got in through the... I was surprised though I didn't get into it through buying the game.
Having this on default means that you move forwards and backwards with your left stick and aim with your right stick. It's a really confusing system. I don't think it handles well. You know, most people prefer accelerating and decelerating with their triggers and then firing with alternate buttons. So that's what I do. I set it to L2 and R2 for brake and acceleration, and I apply this to every single one.
Excited to play, dude. I can't wait, man.
A helicopter or a jet throttling up or down.
I'm just ready.
L2 and R2.
I'm just ready at this point.
If I'm in a gunner situation,
just kind of waiting, you know.
Zoom and fire on L2 and R2. It just makes more sense. The only one that this doesn't change for is transports, because by default, for whatever reason, transport vehicles are set to L2 and R2 for acceleration and deceleration. So those are the only ones you want to make changes for in terms of presets. If you're somebody who prefers accelerating with the left stick, you're welcome to leave it as default. I personally don't recommend it. Now, the other thing that you can do in this game, and this is something to consider, is that you have the ability in Battlefield to completely customize your presets if you wanted to. So you could go into edit presets and set this completely to custom. So if you're somebody who prefers aiming and shooting with L1 and R1, that is something you can do. You can go into custom.
I jump with my L1.
All of these one by one.
So I can just use a basic controller.
Replaced accordingly. So
I couldn't jump my A button, man.
To be L2 and
or
R2,
X button.
I change this from LB to LT, or change this from RB to RT, RB to RT, and then vice versa. Scroll down the menu, find the ones that are associated with those buttons, and swap them over. That is an option available to you. Most people aren't really bothered to do that and will just leave these out of the box in terms of presets as default with alternate. So that's my universal suggestion for everybody. You can go in one by one and create custom keybinds if that's something to your taste, but for most of you, you don't want to do that.
So I'm pumped they have beta challenges. Yeah, I'm pretty gassed about that.
Graphics options are going to be more extensive than you're on console, but if you are on console, these settings are still important. You want to go down to the camera settings in your graphics and change your field of view. Now, I play on a 27-inch monitor with about 30 centimeters of distance, so 110 FOV is about the recommendation for me. And there are calculators online if you'd like to calculate the FOV that makes sense for you. But for this game,
I just set it as the max.
I recommend around 110 FOV. And this is a horizontal field of view, not a vertical field of view. I use the highest field of view for vehicles just to get the most view. I set my weapon to wide to make the gun look smaller. And then I turn off motion blur, weapon blur, camera shake, chromatic aberration, vignetting, and film grain. Those all make your game just look objectively worse. But importantly, on PC, if you're playing on controller, vertical sync should always be off. You don't want input lag in this game.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the
same old phone? Yeah! No, I wouldn't afford a new phone, you know.
And this is where you get things, it just gets a bit mad, all right? Because you basically need a university degree to basically get through this. So the first thing you're going to want to do in this tab is go to control settings and hit modify. And this is actually where you're going to find the majority of your settings. Now, you want infantry aim sensitivity, which is something that you will customize and change to your liking later, to be set to 40. Try this first and multiply it or change it later. My FOV is 110, and bearing in mind, every time you change your FOV, it's going to change how your sensitivity feels. So if you just want to copy me, that would be my recommendation. Next is uniform soldier aiming, or uniform infantry aiming, and you want this on. Now, on PC, if you're using keyboard and mouse, the majority of those players will use 0. Out of the box, it comes at 133, but if you are a controller
this is
player,
178.
you need to be using 178, and that is if you're using a 16:9 display. So if you're using a 16:9 monitor, which most of you are, or just a regular TV, which is 16:9, very few of you are using ultra-wide displays, this has to be set to 178. Okay, and the reason for that is because
soldier input curve, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4.
This is going to make your hipfire and your ADS feel identical, and then we're going to move the ADS
acceleration preset on.
The fact. But this is going to give you one
really in depth
between your thumbstick and what happens on the display. It has to be set to 178. Do not change it away from that, or you will make this game feel terrible. Then you're going to leave these at 100 and move down to soldier aim input curve. You're going to set this to Battlefield 1/Battlefield.
I have my acceleration as 0.
Down to stick acceleration inputs and set that to Battlefield 1. Now, this is where a degree of customization.
But this is a personalization though, because I know that Tactical Brit's been doing a lot more COD, and COD is very known for its acceleration, considering that you can't turn it off. That's why I can't even play COD, because it just feels so weird with it on. But yeah,
now if you
I'm assuming that's probably why he has it on.
Snappy, or make it feel a little less snappy, the first thing to do is to change your aim sensitivity and see how that feels. But acceleration is an option that is going to make your game, in terms of how quickly you move left or right, be a customizable setting. I set it to 70 because that lets the controller ramp up ever so slightly before it hits full acceleration. If you set this option to 0, there will be no acceleration, and it will be an instant snap left and right. If you set it to 100, there's going to be lots of acceleration, and it's going to feel really
that's why I have mine as that, is it make it instant, you know what I mean? So your aim feels like very precise, you know?
Automatically what makes sense, and I wouldn't change it from that. The first thing I would try is changing your sense. If at that point you still feel the game is either too sluggish and you want it to be snappier, set it lower. Or if you feel that it's too fast and you want it to be slightly more...
I'm on 75 for sensitivity.
I recommend. Okay. The next setting that you absolutely need to change in this infantry controller settings tab is vertical aim ratio. And the correct number for this for controller players on 16:9 displays is 56. I've done the maths. I've done the Wolfram alphaing. I've done the chat GPTing. It is 56. All right. And what this means is that on a 16:9 display, the cancellation of movement and dampening vertical input for finer control is at a perfect value at 56. The out-of-box setting at 40 is completely incorrect and should change. Then you have infantry soldier aim zoom sensitivity. So if you're somebody who, like me in Warzone, reduces your ADS sense, this is where you do it. I personally set mine to around 85 to 90, and that's where you're going to find the sweet spot. Some of you might be lower, some of you might be higher.
Yeah, I have mine as like 40.
But this is going to slow down your aim whilst you're aiming down sight. So you can still be really responsive when you're snapping left and right on opponents whilst in the game.
Yeah, I thought people want to see this because he goes really in depth into it.
So that's really, really important. These numbers together, I feel, are going to give you the best settings. Use all of these, as I have stated in this video, and change the sensitivity to your preference. And then change the zoom sensitivity down here to your preference, okay? Don't mess with anything else. If you're feeling more advanced, then you can mess around with the left and right acceleration values, where lower means you're snapping left and right quicker, and higher means snapping left and right is slightly more sluggish. But as somebody who has done these videos hundreds of times, the sweet spot is in and around 60 to 70, 50 is probably a bit more on the fast end, 80 is slightly more on the sluggish end. I think 70 makes the most sense. Now, the final setting, and arguably the most important one, and ask me why this is buried all the way down here in other, is controller tuning. You want, like I mentioned, vibration and all of this off, but most importantly, you want your center dead zone down to 2 and your axial dead zone down to about 6. Now, if you have stick drift, you might want to increase the central dead zone value, but axial dead zones, lower is better. Now, if you're somebody who uses any kind of PlayStation controller or most custom Pro controllers, the majority of those controllers come with the lowest possible axial dead zones and primarily use radial dead zones. So adding this value is going to superficially dampen your input when introducing vertical inputs into your game. I would recommend 6. Some of you may even want to go lower to 4. You may find 4 more responsive, but personally, you want it to be slightly higher than your central dead zone. You want to copy this over to the right stick, and the only difference between left and right is that I put my max input threshold down to 80 on my left stick, which is my movement stick. And that is pretty much it. Those are the controller settings that are going to give you massive benefits in-game, and it's really important that you follow this guide. Now, if you have any other extra questions, and of course you can do things like your audio mixes and reduce music, you can ask those in the comment section down below. But all of the critical ones, like the vertical aim ratio, the field of view, the sensitivity, the uniform soldier aiming coefficient, those are the values that are going to drastically change the overarching responsiveness of your controller. And I promise you, if you use even any of if you use these settings right now, you will get a 100x improvement on the out-of-the-box settings. Some of these are going to feel too
there you go, guys. Good start.
Just
well, this is for controller though.
And the vehicle sense. And if you find that that's the case, mess around with this slider a lot. Get it to roughly where you feel it makes sense.
I have it at 75 and I think 50 for ADS.
Acceleration. And remember, acceleration at 0 means you're snapping left and right instantly.
That's why I have
acceleration at about 60 to 70 means there's a little bit of a ramp up for the controller, so you don't get that instantaneous snap. And then 100 is a really long acceleration rate. I think 70 is the sweet spot, 60 to 70 give or take. But these are the two variables that you are allowed to change in these settings. Everything else...
Well, honestly, I think like settings and I think will change over time anyway, because once people like truly start playing the game much more longer, and I think it's now, you know, you're going to find that sweet spot.
I don't know why they've done this, is that you then have to go from the settings that I've just given you in the infantry tab, and you have to copy them on every single one of the ground settings, the transport settings, aircraft settings, the helicopter settings, and the gunner settings. You literally need to take all of the settings I just gave you in the infantry settings tab and copy them like for like in this tab here.
Oh,
Same
God.
thing as before. You want to set it to BF1, BF4. You want this set to BF1 as well. 70%, drop it down. Bang, uniform soldier aiming, 178%.
That's dumb.
And then you want to essentially just make sure that all of the vertical aim ratio settings are correct as well.
So you've really got to deep dive into your settings, though. I don't think that's going to be that friendly, though.
One by one. So if you want to pause the video and do that one by one, go ahead and do that. There are a couple of other options in here that you can mess around with, like vehicle boost or decoupling the tank turret. These are options that I would consider to be personal preference, but the actual settings that I've given you are the ones that you want to be messing with. And again, you also have the personal preference of changing those two acceleration values and sensitivity values, but I would recommend just copying what I'm using. As a general FYI, for some of you, those settings are going to copy over automatically, and whatever you set in infantry is going to copy over in ground, transport, aircraft.
Well, I don't use vehicles. Dude, yeah.
Worth checking.
I'm going to mess about all my tank ones.
Because it isn't a guarantee, and I've seen it vary from person to person, where some of those settings don't change. I also know that for some people, once they change the transport vehicle settings,
kind of a lot.
There's
a lot of settings, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't want to overwhelm people.
Otherwise, it's going to get a little...
Controller tuning is ridiculous so low, though.
Please do drop a like and subscribe. I will be doing a fresh set of settings for the launch of this game, and I am actively speaking to...
Man, oh man. Right, I think it's time to play some games, huh? What do you think? Oh, troopers, do you know, right? We are only less than, we're literally less than 200 subs away from 30k. You know that? You know how crazy that is? Yeah, let me show you, Look at that, man. Over there. I don't know why my camera's freezing, man. I don't want to start doing it again. Go 30k subs. Yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know if I like deactivate it, reactivate it. Put to this. Flop it like that. I don't know. Bloody thing. Yeah, so we got the beta. Probably load in, have a look at our settings real quick. I'll show you what I got. Oh yeah. I'll do open because it seems like closed is like a main one, like just like its own playlist. See, I pretty much got already most of mine done already. See, I got 70, 75. Just tap the reload, hold to interact. Yeah, man. See, I already got all mine sorted. We're good. We're good. We're good. Alright, guys. I'm gonna play my first ever game standing up. You guys ready? My first ever game standing up.
هنروح فين يا جماعة؟
Dude, that is so sick. You don't understand. That's so sick. So sick, man. No, so, oh, I was only gonna play like a game or two. I don't want to drag you all the way in here, man. I was only gonna just play like a game or two. It's already getting quite late here. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, if I knew, I should have said something, shouldn't I? I should have said something. Well, I was assuming I was probably going to be just watching like videos and stuff most of the day. But I want to stream for a little bit. I want to do like a game standing up, see how it turns out. I don't even know what gun to use. Probably AK-5C. My go-to. Oh, it does feel really weird standing up though. But this is cool, man. I like this. This is really cool. So definitely now, if I get like leg aches or something, I can still play the game and stand up at the same time. The only thing that feels weird is that I can't rest my arm when I'm holding my controller. I can't imagine what this would be like playing keyboard and mouse.
One down. Не подходите ко мне.
Let me try it. I'm really curious now. I want to try this acceleration thing. I want to see what it'll be like for this game. So what do you say, 70? I think 70 is too high though. I think 60. I bet this is going to feel so weird. Oh wow, it's already slow sensitivity too. No, kind of still a little bit snappy. It's available. No, apparently it isn't available for pre-orders for people who are part of labs. But you can get in if you sign up for. You can get in if you're part of the Battlefield Labs. But it seems like it's going to be really easy to get one through Twitch, because it looks like you just need to watch the streams, like anyone's stream, for like 30 minutes, and then that's it. But that's not available until the 7th. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that much. Wonder whether I like 40. Stormzy Star Wars, what's up, man? You're gonna play it on the 7th? Nice, nice. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing you on there. I hope you're doing well, man. I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, we'll be here as soon as it launches. As soon as it goes live, we'll be there. Yeah, I think my camera's freezing again. Pretty annoying. Oh! Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, man. I can't like it instant, you know. Hey, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I think 15. Yeah, I can't do acceleration at all, man. I'm not used to it. I like the max input. Hello, until your feet or back hurt? What do you mean? Or like standing or something? See, I feel like I'll probably get like worn out if I stand up for like so many hours. If I was standing up for like an hour or something, be like fine. But I think anything longer than that, I'll probably be like, yeah, I want to sit. See, I'm playing so much more comfortable with 15. Right now, I feel fine, man. I feel like I can keep standing up. It's definitely nice to, like, keep playing while, like, getting the stretch out, you know? Hey, what up, Vicky? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. It's new here. Well, I appreciate you hanging out. Hope you're doing well. Oh, top. That flat feet. It's a bad back. Honestly, I feel like it helps my back because I'm standing up like straight. Congrats on the affiliation. Yeah, I want to try so I can push up there. Can I go this way? Come on. Ah, I can't get up there. Still whippersnapper. Well, it took a while. Got some peeps down below. See anyone down there? Yeah, they sure did nerf that K30, huh? See, Grandpa Gaming broke his elbow. I heard about that. I heard that he was, they was gonna take some vacation. And something happened.
Someone help!
Hey, honey. How you doing, babe? I'm standing. I'm standing. Yeah, we just did it. We just did it. I want to see what I feel like playing games, and honestly, it feels fine. Been bragging about it to everyone. I'm very happy, honey. Lucky guy. And no, Jim. No, Jim. Trying to get me in trouble there, Jim? I'll never forgive you. I'm already mad at my dog. My dog, I accidentally trapped her in the gas room. I didn't realize, and she pissed on the bed. So pissed. So annoyed. I was like, what the frick? Man, what's up with these Twitch bots? So sick of it. Hang on, I'm getting you, I'm getting you. I'm getting you. I'm getting you. Oh, he's got him. Dude, it's like my 6th Twitch bot. I don't get it. My wife streams and she gets no issue. She doesn't get any. But I get it all the time. So you delete the bot follow. Oh, I ban them, so they get off anyway. I think it's because it's tagged as Battlefield 6 because it's such a big hype right now. I think they're just coming in through that category. Oh, see what happens. Get ready. Oh, you followed me on Twitch? Alright, Stormzy Star Wars is good. It's clear. No, I'm banning the bots so I don't, so they're not counting on my stream. Yeah, I haven't been saying too much about it, but I know I said that a standard desk would be a cool thing. I just never imagined to get an L one. Like an L stand-up desk. Very, very lucky man. Makes me happy. And the cool thing is, if I need a poop, and I need to suck it in, stand up. Do you guys want to see something funny for the next game? I honestly don't think it's possible. I don't think it's going to be possible. Actually. Or it probably can. I've got something funny to show you in a minute. Oh, really? Now you compare it to the Jesse. That sounds pretty bad. This team deathmatch, yes sir. I'm gonna show you something funny next game, guys. I can do it because I'm light enough for it. Did you? Hang on. We got something funny. We got something funny. What's this? The new gaming chair, guys. Was it freeze? Okay, it's the new gaming chair. We're doing it. Doing it. Okay. Don't know if it's gonna work, guys. But we're gonna do it. See me? Yeah, you see me. Alright. Game time.
I rattle their cage. You
I don't think you can hear me. There we go. Alright, do this.
Infantry march! South!
You don't know where they're at. I'm too... Oh, hang on. I know what's going wrong. I know what's wrong. I don't have my headphones. That's why. That's the problem. I don't have my headphones.
We're in control of this fight. Don't let up.
No, that chair ain't breaking. This ain't breaking. And no way. This is 100. This has got me. This is support right now. I can't fit in here. I'm on the edge. But honestly, I'm pretty comfortable. Not gonna lie. I think I just need a pillow. I'm good to go. But no, this is the chair what Feynix is having. I'm gonna give this one to him. I'm just testing out, making sure it's comfortable.
Cover me! One down! بعمر سلاحي! Cover me! Cato down!
Oh, my bad. Oh, that's my bad. Comfortable, not gonna lie. Pretty comfy. Who would have thought, huh? It would be this comfortable.
I'm coming! Hold on! Show them how a true warrior fights! Threat eliminated! Reloading!
What was that behind? I don't even know where they're spawning, you know.
Cato down!
Been killed by someone sitting on a little chair.
Stay away!
Oh, there's too many there. Remember, guys, you haven't left a like, please do. Dude, the fact is this chair's holding me. It's kind of funny. Like, I can even, like, lift my legs up. Oh. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, you little bugger. Alright, we're gonna scrap the chair now. I'm taking my big boy chair. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I have no clue why my camera keeps freezing. It's so annoying. It did it a while back, and then I fixed it, and then it was fine. But now it started acting up again. I know, I'll look into it at some point. Always play something. Always something. So imagine getting killed with someone sitting in the baby seat. Yeah, well, it happened. 5 of them. It just got to a point where I was pretty far away from the monitor that I just felt like I couldn't see.
Enemy down! Hold on! on, reloading!
Dude just bled out as soon as I was going to pick him up too. No! How did I not kill the first guy? Thank you for people joining the Discord, by the way. I appreciate that. Always nice. Always nice, nice.
Marking enemy soldier. 150 meters.
Excuse me. Not gonna stream DF anymore. I'm still gonna stream Delta Force. Yeah, when Battlefield comes out and stuff, I'm not gonna be playing it for a while. But I'm still gonna be popping back for, you know, new content and everything. The thing is, Delta Force is just pretty bare. It's not that much going on. And then they, you know, it's just like one map every like couple of months. You know. Like, that's the thing, that the season's been like about a month as it is, and we don't even have the new weapon. But that comes out in that mid-season, so I'll be trying out then. I'm gonna be around about September. But no, I won't be playing as much of the game. Because of Battlefield. But I won't be a stage where I'm not playing the game. I'm still gonna focus on it. Just probably not as much. I do feel like I have kind of done everything in that game now. But Battlefield's always our main anyway, so it's not like it's a surprise for anyone. Just joined my Discord too? Thanks, man. Yeah, the Discord's really important, especially for the streaming stuff, because so I can actually update people when I go live. I don't usually do that for like YouTube posts. Because, like, I don't know, I feel like that spams a bit too much. But I always let people know about, like, stream stuff, like stream schedules and all that through the Discord. Best way to find out when I'm going live. So, yeah, thank you, man. I'll add you to the role at some point. Honestly, I should change the name for the people, like everyone. Instead of calling it Pink Wigami, I should just call it Troopers, because that's what I call you guys. Probably what I should just name it as. There we go, we picked up some more kills. Let's go. Alright, what do you think? One more? One more? Wanna do one more? Let's do one more. Oh no, all the way off. EDM? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I think I'm gonna snipe. I'm gonna snipe. I got a snipe, man. You already know it. I'm locking in. I'm locking in.
I'm reloading.
Oh, what? How was that a miss? There we go. Might have used thermal. Go there. Go, 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 go. There we go. See one of them. I wonder if thermal sight's going to be available for Battlefield 6.
Tackle spotted!
Man, no hits. Oh, that's my bad. That's my totally missed.
Enemy down.
Yeah, that shot was my bad. I'll pick him up.
Get up and fight.
Oh, just when I had my sight on him. Thank you.
One down.
Alright, I'm gonna go back. Actually, you know what? I haven't used this gun in a while. You guys remember when this gun used to be like really, really good? Well, almost every new weapon was good, honestly. Oh, you little camper. I appreciate you all coming in. I'm so excited, man. I cannot wait for Battlefield 6. Oh, no, 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 no. Poor guy. Yeah, it's not long now until we have to wait. It'll be 4 in the morning on the 7th. So I'll be going to bed really early on the 6th. Also, remember as well, once this beta comes out, that's going to be our birthday stream. Because it's on my birthday. So we're doing 2 streams on the 7th. We're going to do one really early in the morning, and then we're going to do one... Oh, hang on. Then we're going to do one later in the day. I get teabagged? Why would he teabag me? Why would you do this?
Enemy infantry spotted. Distance 110 meters.
You know what? We're going to crank it up. See if it makes a difference.
Cato, 60 meters away from me.
Oh, he's moving. No! Yeah, we're like 40 points off. No, he had a shotty. And why is this guy trying to chuck a melee knife? Just shoot him. Oh, man. If he just shot him, then it wouldn't have been a problem. He just said, of course, he wanted to go around trying to hit a melee knife on him.
Reloading!
Oh my god. That guy with a shotty.
بعمر سلاحي! Cover me!
Easy does it. I don't see anyone, but I don't know. There's gonna obviously be people on the other side. So why do I get the plate early? Because I was a part of the labs. It doesn't come out until the 7th. But you can watch the stream for like 30 minutes on the 7th, and you can get yourself a beta key that way. So you can get in easy anyway.
My position.
What makes me special? Nothing. As I know. Hopefully I don't have any like that. I don't think I got any special privilege.
Здесь опасно! Не подходите ко мне!
to hack in and ruin the game anyway? What?
Target eliminated. Cover me. We don't quit.
What's wrong with this guy? You can tell he's not a part of the battle scene. Wild.
Enemy. 170.
You know this is Battlefield 2042, right? It's not even a new Battlefield. So if you're trying to act all big and tough, you probably should know what your Battlefields are. It's the older title. Oh, you didn't know to ban him? You didn't know to ban him? Yeah, don't ban him. It's fine. Everyone has their own personal impressions and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. If there's anything, I prefer timeout. It's not like he stepped out of line. Call me a hacker. People do it all the time, you know what I mean? Oh, we didn't have to ban him. Can we unban him? Oh. Feel bad now. Yeah, never ban people straight away, like unless they're a bot. You know what I mean? I always believe in, you know, the freedom of speech. You know, let people talk how they feel. It's my job, you know what I mean? It's part of taking criticism and everything. Even if they're just being mean. Can't just ban people because, you know, I'm upset what they said. I give them a chance, and if they just be an idiot, then they go. It's alright, but then, as I said, DJ, you know what I mean, like, when that guy came in and said, you know, what makes you so special, you know what I mean, like, there's nothing, it's just that guy doesn't know that we're Battlefield people, you know what I mean, that's just someone on the outside who doesn't know about Battlefield, so he just acting like, what makes you so special, you know, but for me, you know, it's like, well, I've been a part of Battlefield for ages, you know. Yeah, he obviously was being an idiot. Of course. Of course. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no denying that. He probably would have got banned anyway. So I have to farm to get the keys to play this beta. Farm? You just need to watch it for 30 minutes. Yeah, but it's open from the 8th to the 9th. No, it's the 9th to the 10th. And then the 14th to the 17th. And they're all open. So even if you don't get into the early access, you can still get into the beta. But as I said, once it does come out for early access, you can watch the Twitch stream for 30 minutes. And then you can get yourself a beta code that way. So honestly, like, I wouldn't worry about it. You guarantee you're going to get yourself a code. Alright? Yeah, so that's the way, Augustine, to get everything, man. So you'll be all good unless you're a part of labs. If you're a part of labs, then you'll be getting in. I still can't believe, like, so buying the game doesn't guarantee you. Like, how does it not guarantee you the beta if you buy the game? That's insane. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because I've got it. I've got it, because now if I do go to view product, probably find it in here. DJ, it's fine, man. You don't know. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so we got it. So it comes out on the it's a play on your 9th. Yes, that's crazy. Yeah, so if you buy it, then it says play the open beta for the 9th and the 10th. It's crazy. That's so wild. I'm glad I got it though. See, there's a PlayStation 5 Pro Edition. It's gonna be cool. See, it says release on the 8th. Or 4th. I don't know why it says the 8th though. Oh, it says the 8th. I should be still guaranteed to get it. Unless I have to play it through the labs. Don't know. Alright. I'm gonna head off now. Alright, that's gonna be it for today. We'll be jumping in for a little bit, a couple hours tomorrow. Probably not gonna be here like super long or anything, you know what I mean? We'll just be like chilling, vibing and everything like that for a little bit. Because obviously I want to get some sleep early because we got that beta. That's what it is, man. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Alright. But anyway, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you very much. Hopefully you all enjoyed the stream. We covered everything when it comes to news space and all that, so everyone can see all that once the stream's finished. But yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow, and we'll be here for just a little bit, just chilling, chitting, chatting, and then we got that big day. Alright, take care guys. I'll see you all in tomorrow's stream. Bye bye. Bye bye.